So, in the last session, we have discussed about the fitting of a mathematical equation to the given bivariate data. In the first session, we have discussed about fitting of linear relation in the form of a straight line, that is y is equal to a plus bx. So, theoretical part is over. Okay? So, on this basis, so let us solve some problems. Okay? So, this is the best textbook you have, BSc Statistics by Kalyani Publishers. Okay? You can take some practice problems from this textbook. Okay? For example, let us solve just one problem from this textbook. So, this is some bivariate data involving two variables x, y, x taking so and so values, y taking at most 5 values. Okay. He wants to fit a linear relation. Okay. So, he wants to fit a linear relation y is equal to a plus bx to the given data, y is equal to a plus bx. Okay. So, here x and y are in that equation, x and y are variables, a and b are parameters. So, that equation represents a family of straight lines, because there may not exist a perfect straight line when we have plotted the given data as plots in xy plane, but there exists a number of straight lines which are passing through the middle of the points. So, in order to get a best straight line, we have to choose only one straight line among the family of straight lines. So, we have to choose the best parameters a and b and method. For that, in the last class, we have solved two normal equations. So, they are sigma y is equal to na plus b sigma xi. That is the first normal equation. And the second equation is sigma xi yi is equal to a sigma xi plus b sigma xi square. These are the two normal equations which we have solved in the last section. So, we can solve the problem by solving the constants sigma y, sigma x, sigma x square. So, in statistics, we always prefer a shortcut route. So, instead of solving x, we have to use the variable u. U is equal to x minus a. A is any arbitrary constant. You can select at random. So, you can take the a from the given data or outside the data. So, here data ranges is from 1 to 6. So, let us take the middle value 3 as the constant a. So, a is arbitrary constant. In this example, we selected 3 as the arbitrary constant. In general, we have to follow one procedure. First, observe the data for the least value. Least value is equal to 1. And observe the data for the maximum value is equal to 6. Okay. So, you can take any arbitrary constant a so that it lies in between the data 1 to 6. So, in the middle of the data there are 3, 4, 5. So, you can choose 3, 4, 5. 5 does not belong to the given data, but at the same time we can choose 5 also as the constant a. So, for simplicity we have chosen the constant 3 as constant a. So, x minus a is equal to x minus 3. So, instead of solving the variable a x, we prefer to solve u, because x has sometimes largest magnitude. So, that means largest calculations. So, it requires more time. So, we reduce the magnitude by subtracting some constant a. So, x converted into u. Now, x is equal to 1. 1 minus 3. So, first value is equal to minus 2. X value is equal to 2. Substitute in the x place. So, 2 minus 3, minus 1, 0, 1, 3. So, these are the u values. Otherwise, these are the deviations. Okay. So, in general, these values have lesser values. So, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 3. So, now refer the equations. First, we want the sum of the value of x. x. So, but right now we have no variable x, in that place we have u anamata. So, instead of the total of the x values, we have to use the sum of the values of u. So, here in the x place we get, now refer the equation. Here we have sigma x, instead of that we have sigma u. Sigma u is equal to 3 plus 1 4, 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. So, therefore, sigma u is equal to 1. Now, refer the second equation. We need sigma x square. So, we have no the value of x. In that place we have u. So, we have to square u value. So, sigma x square means sigma u square. Now, convert into u square values. U square is equal to 4, 1, 0, 1, 9. So, we require sigma x square. Therefore, sigma u square is equal to, sigma u square is equal to 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 1 11, 11 plus 4 15. So, therefore, sigma x square is equal to sigma u square is equal to 15. So, we have solved sigma x and sigma x square. Now, sigma n a is equal to constant, n is equal to number of combinations. Here sigma y is equal to 5 plus 7 12, 12 plus 9 21, 31, 42. So, sigma y is equal to 42. Now, substitute in the equation. First equation starts with total of y. Sigma y is equal to 42. So, first equation is 42 is equal to n number of combinations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combinations. So, n is equal to 5. A unknown constant 5 into a plus b unknown constant b, sigma x. Therefore, sigma x is equal to sigma u is equal to value 1, b into 1. Another equation, sigma x into y. For that we need one more column, x into y, but we have no value of x. In that place we have to use x, u into y. So, u is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 5. X into y means u into y. So, minus 2 into 5, minus 10. Okay. Minus 1 into 7, minus 7. 0 into 9, 0. 1 into 10, 10. 3 into 11, 33. So, sigma xy is equal to nothing but sigma u into y. So, total value is equal to 43 minus 7, 36, 36 minus 10, 26. Sigma u y is equal to 26. 43 minus 36, 26. Okay. So, second equation starts with sigma xi yi. In this problem, sigma xi yi is nothing but sigma ui yi. So, starts with 26 is equal to second constant a into sigma x. Sigma x is nothing but sigma u, a into 1 plus b into sigma x square. Sigma x square is nothing but equal to sigma u square is equal to 15. 15 into b. So, we have two mathematical equations and two unknown constants a and b. So, we can solve them easily. Okay. So, first equation starts with 5. 5a plus b is equal to 42. So, multiply with the second equation with 5. 5 into 26. So, 5 into 1, 5a plus 5 into 15. Okay. Minus 74b is equal to minus 130, 90, 88. B is 24. Okay. So, in this way we get some value. By substituting the b value in one of the equations, we get the value of a. So, by using calculator, we can solve the problem. B is equal to minus 88 by 74. So, definitely it has some value. B. By substituting the b either in first equation or in second equation, we solve the value of a. So, we get a and b. By putting these values in the equation, y is equal to a plus b into u. By substituting the two values, we get the required fit. So, that is the best fit. So, it is known as fitting of straight line by using the principle of least squares. So we have to minimize the square of the differences. So that is the main concept. On minimizing the error sum of squares, we have solved the best values of A and B. So the best values of parameter. By putting the best values, so we get the best fit for the given data. In this way, we have to solve the equations. Again, so let us take one more example. This time I will give you data. You can solve the problem as an assignment. Okay. So you please solve the problem as an assignment. Finally, you will get the answer as y is equal to 11.8 plus 0.62x. Okay. If you have any doubts, I will clarify it later. Okay. You just try to solve the problem. So it is an easy method. First convert the x values into u. So you can convert it into u. U is equal to x minus a means. So here observe the data for the smallest value. Smallest value is equal to 0. Largest value is equal to 20. So in between you can choose any value as the constant a. So that belongs to the data or out of the data. So here 10 is the middle value. So it belongs to the data. So we can choose a as the 10 value, x minus 10. And one more thing. So by subtracting 10, we get the values of u. That is nothing but differences. It is the minimized value. So we can minimize the magnitude of the x values further by dividing it with the value of 5. So by 5. Because each value is improving at the value of 5. 0 plus 5, 5 plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 5. So each value is increasing by 5. So we can divide by 5. So u is equal to x minus 10 by 5. So by dividing by 5, we can reduce the magnitude of the x values. By subtracting, it will reduce to some extent. By dividing with 5, we can reduce more. So the magnitude of x by dividing 5 on 1. So x minus 10 by 5. Now u value is equal to minus 2. 0 minus 10, 10 minus 10. Minus 10 by 5 is equal to minus 2. 5 minus 10 minus 5 divided by 5 minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 1. So these are the u values. So by dividing, we can get the smaller values than x values. So in general, x will have more magnitude. By subtracting and further dividing them, we can reduce more. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. These are the reduced values. Now we require x square values. So therefore, u square values. U square 4, 1, 0, 1, 4. And x into y. Now u into y. U is equal to minus 2. Y is equal to 12. So u into y minus 24. 1 into 15 minus 15. 0 into 17. 0. 1 into 22. 2 into 24. 48. Now we can calculate sigma u. Sigma u is equal to 2 plus 1, 3, 3 minus 3, 0. Sigma u is equal to 0. Similarly, sigma u square is equal to 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 5, 10. So sigma u square is equal to 10. Similarly, you can calculate sigma u into y. So 48 plus 22, 70. 70 minus 15, 55. 55 minus 24, 26 plus 5, 31. Equal to 31. Now sigma y is equal to 12 plus 5, 15, 27, 27, 34, 44, 46, 66, 70, 90. Sigma y is equal to 90. By putting these four values in the two normal equations, once again we get the best values of a and b. And by putting these values in the general equation, y is equal to a plus bx, we get the best fit of straight line. Similarly, for any given data, x and y data, first convert it into x values. X is converted into y by subtracting some constant a. Further, you want to divide with some value u, some value x. So x minus 10 by 5, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Similarly, u can be converted into u square. Then finally we get product value u into y, and finally we get the summation values, and finally we solve the equations. Okay. So it is the first method, fitting of straight line. As a second method, this time we want to go for second degree parabola. Similarly, sometimes we may want to fit a second degree parabola for the given data. So second degree equation, a plus bx plus cx square. Okay. So power rises to 2. So second degree parabola with 3 parameters a, b and c. So we want, let us take some bivariate data, x1, x2 and so on, xn. Y values y1, y2 and so on, yn. So for the given bivariate data, we want to fit a second degree parabola y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square. As in the earlier example, there exists a number of parabolic curves for the given data. So for the given same data, there exists a family of parabolic curves for different values of a, b and c. But out of them, we want to choose the best fit of parabola. So we want to choose the best values of a, b and c. Once again, we have to repeat the procedure. Okay. First, for the given value x is equal to x1. It is the given value in the data, x is equal to x1. And at the same time, y is also given, y is equal to y1. Okay. So as a first step, let us take one curve, y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square, a plus bx plus cx square. Let us suppose that this specific curve is the best fit of second degree parabola to the given data for the time being. For the first step, we want to fit y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square. Let us suppose that for a moment it is the best curve for the given data. So it is the best curve means whenever you have to substitute a value of x, it gives the best value of y. It should give the best value of y, which is equal to the y value given in the data. Then it is said to be the best fit. So let us clarify it. X is equal to x1. If we substitute the x1 value in the equation, we will get some value of y. If this estimated value lies close to the true value y1, then it is said to be the best fit to the given data. When we substitute the value of x1 in the first place, if the calculated value is quite deviate from the true value y1, then curve is said to be not a best fit. So let us for the time being, y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square is the best fit. So first value x is equal to x1, given value y is equal to y1. Now substitute the value in the equation y is equal to a plus bx1 plus cx1 square. Okay. So observe it more carefully. Okay. So here the given value is equal to x1, x is equal to x1. So there is no problem about the value of x1. At the same time, y is equal to y1 is also given. But we want to try with the help of x1. We want to estimate some value of new value. If the calculated value or the estimated value lies close to the given value, then it is said to be the best fit. So we want to test whether it is a best fit or not by measuring the estimate difference between the estimated value and the original value. So as a first step, x is equal to x1, at the same time y is equal to y1. This x value is substituted in the equation. We get some estimated value y cap is equal to a plus bx1 plus cx1 square. When x is equal to x1, it is substituted in the x place, we get the estimated value y cap is equal to a plus bx1 plus cx1 square. In general, we cannot estimate with 100% accuracy. So there may be a difference between the original value and the estimated value. We have to allow some variation between the original value and estimated value, a plus bx1 plus cx1 square. Even though it may be a best curve, but when x is substituted, it may not give the exact value of y which is given in the value of y series, y data. So there may be some variation between the original value and the estimated value. So it is known as the difference d1. So with the help of the curve, in estimating the value of y, we have to allow some error between the original value and the estimated value of y given by the curve y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square. Similarly, for the second pair, when x is equal to x2, y2 is equal to given, y is equal to y2 is given. But take the x value and substitute in the equation, y cap is equal to substituting a plus bx2 plus cx2 plus square, a plus bx2 plus cx2 square. When x is equal to x2, the value given by the parabolic curve is y cap is equal to a plus bx2 plus cx2 square. In general, this estimated value once again may not be equal to the true value of y. So once again we have to allow some variation between the original value y2 minus estimated value a plus bx2 plus cx2 square. Similarly, last value y is equal to yn, when x is equal to xn, y is equal to yn. In this pair also we have to allow some variation, dn is equal to yn minus a plus bxn plus cxn square. Similarly, in each value of y, we have to see some variation. d1 is equal to d2 is equal to dn is equal to. Okay. So these are the variations. So first of all, we assumed that so and so curve is the best fit for the given data. So for the next step, we want to use the value of x as a preliminary value. With the help of x value, we want to estimate the value of y. If the estimated value lies close to the true value, then it is said to be the best fit. But by bad luck, we have to allow some variation in each pair of the y values. In the first value, we have to allow some variation with d1, d2 and so on dn. So in this total data, y1, y2 and so on yn, we have these type of errors, d1, d2 and so on dn. So by depending on the curve y is equal to a plus bx plus cx square, unnecessarily this amounts of errors have entered, d1, d2 and so on dn. Overall the data, how much error has entered? So total error is d1 plus d2 plus dn, d1 plus d2 plus and so on plus dn. So in estimating these y values, we have total error is equal to d1 plus d2 plus dn. But in statistics, we should not depend on the first order differences, d1, d2 and so on dn. We have to shift to second order differences. So we have to shift d1 square of the error, and d2 square and square of the error, and so on dn square and square of the error. So we have to convert them into second order differences. Now once again, malli sum of the squares of the differences, it is denoted by e. So in the first value, the square of the error is d1 square. Second pair, we have square of the error d2 square. In the last combination, we have square of the error dn square. So sum of the squares of the errors. So using mathematical symbol sigma, I changes from 1 to n. So sigma I is equal to 1 to n. So total error yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square. Cxi square. So this is the total amount of variation. This is the total amount of variation in estimating the value of y because of the curve. Next step is we want to verify whether the total value is small or not. If the total value is small out of all the curves, because for this specific curves we have so and so error. For the first curve we have E1 is equal to sum of the error sigma di square. If we choose in the family as the second curve as the best fit, then again also we have to allow some error sigma di square. If we choose the third curve as the best fit, then once again we have some square of the differences as sigma d3 di square. Out of the family of curves, which curve has the smallest total error? If E1 is the smallest square of the differences, then choose the first curve as the best fit. In case if E2 is the smallest square of the difference, then second curve is the said to be the best fit. Similarly, if sigma di square in third case has the smallest value, then third curve is the best fit to the given data. How can we check? Once again, 1, 2, 3 and so on, we cannot calculate each and every curve because there exists a number of curves, countably infinite number of curves. For each curve, we cannot calculate sigma di square. So we have to use mathematical principle of maxima and minima. So a function f, whenever it maximizes and whenever it minimizes. So for what value of x it is getting maximized and for what value of x it is getting minimized. So by the principle of maxima and minima, we have to minimize the error a. Then we said that a, b and c are the best values. We want to choose the best values of a, b and c. That means for what values of a and b and c, the error is getting minimized. Finally, our main aim is, our main concept is to minimize the error. For what values of a, b and c, the total error is getting minimized. Then a, b, c are the best values. So out of them, we have to choose the particular combination of a, b and c for which a is getting minimized. So by the principle of maxima and minima, we have to choose the best value of a. So partial differentiation dou e by dou a is equal to 0. And once again, we want to calculate the best value of b. For what value of b? For what best value of b? The function e is getting minimized. So once again partial differentiation dou e by dou b is equal to 0, and for the third parameter dou e by dou c is equal to 0. In the last class fitting of straight line, we need two parameters only. Then only 2 times partial differentiation is required. Now the required equation is second order parabola. So it has 3 parameters. So you want 3 best values. So e should be minimized for a value of a and for the value of b and for the value of c. So we need 3 times the differentiation. First time differentiation, it is in the form of x square. So first express it as in the form of 2x. So 2 into sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi minus a minus b xi minus cxi square into expressed as 2x. But we want to differentiate it with respect to a. Here a coefficient is minus 1. So into minus 1 is equal to 0. Similarly, for second time differentiation, dou e by dou b is equal to 0. Once again express it in the form of 2x. Sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square. Here we are differentiating with respect to b. So b coefficient is minus xi. So multiply with minus xi into is equal to 0. Similarly, for third equation, sigma 2 into sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square into, now the coefficient of c is minus x square is equal to 0. And now the remaining procedure same as in the earliest theorem fitting of straight line. Okay. So 2 can be taken to right side we have 0. So 2 can be written as 0 and minus 1 is also not required. So total equation is sigma 1 to n yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square is equal to 0. So 2 is not required and minus 1 also not required. So minus 1 is equal to 0. So that is the first equation. Second equation, once again 2 is not required. Sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square into product xi is equal to 0. Third equation, sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi minus a minus bxi minus cxi square into xi square is equal to 0. By solving the two equations, we get 3 normal equations. First equation is sigma yi. So y is variable. So apply sigma over y, sigma yi. So here a is constant, a doesn't change, but it is to be added n times. So constant is repeatedly added n times. So it can be written as n into a. So n into a, first value n into. Here we have b constant, x is variable. So sigma applies to variable only, but not to constant. So constant can be taken outside. So plus b into sigma xi plus here c stands for constant, xi square is variable. So apply sigma to xi square, c sigma xi square is equal to 0. So it is the first equation. And sigma yi once again apply to variable sigma yi. Okay. A constant, a into xi, okay, is equal to a sigma xi plus b into x square. So b sigma xi square plus c into xi square into xi, x cube into constant, c into sigma x cube. Okay. So it is the second equation. Third equation, sigma yi xi square is equal to a sigma xi square plus b sigma xi cube plus c sigma xi 4. So we have three constants a, b and c, and we have three mathematical equations. By solving them, we get the best values of a, b and c. So these are the best values. By substituting in the given equation, we get the best fit y is equal to a plus bx plus c x square.